I don't even think you guys can see anything because like my eyes are just blinded. I'm blinded by your grace. You can save me, Lord. I've been broken. No, okay. I don't think you guys know the song. Such a beautiful day. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Temi. I'm so happy to be here because I'm talking about a topic that is very dear to my heart. I love green supply chain, and as you all know, I graduated from Durham University with a master's in management, supply chain logistics. So that was what I kind of like specialized in. And during my final, in Nigeria they call it final year project, but during my dissertation, my dissertation topic was organizational inferences on green procurement in fashion retail, effects and prospects for supplier engagement. It was interesting to see how companies are just encouraging us to consume what we don't even want to consume. And I'm going to show you some of the things that we might kind of have, or we kind of have encountered, but unconsciously we didn't know what was going on. Think about supply chains. It's basically how do you plan, how do you source, how do you make, and how do you deliver this product to the consumer. So planning the demand, if there's a demand for something, how many units do you think you want to produce? How many factories or people have you been in contact with actually have all the ingredients that you're going to use? Are they sustainable? In some companies, they actually bother about like sustainability. The ones that don't, oh well. Are they sustainable? How do you then make it? What's the most efficient process to make it? Individuals who use this business model whereby they probably are selling something on Amazon, but they are not the ones that manufactured it. That's called the drop shipping method. But see, I think I'm becoming too technical. And it's just sad that I'm not working in supply chain right now, but in the fashion sense, or how fast fashion really knows, it's funny how most times fast fashion companies are so engrossed in greenwashing. Now, what I mean by greenwashing is when you see a fashion brand saying there is, maybe the cotton was sustainable, and let's say now, let's assume that in the UK you are only meant to use sustainable cotton to produce, or cotton that has been farmed sustainably, and then you see brands writing sustainable cotton produced. It's just misleading because it makes me think, oh, these people are so ethical, they're so this, they're so that, but actually it's not outside the requirements of what they're meant to do. They're meant to do it either ways. They're just trying to take advantage of our emotions. So that's what's called, in layman terms, that's what greenwashing is called. But to be so certain, let me read it out for you. Greenwashing is a form of marketing spin which green PR and green marketing are deceptively used to persuade the public that organizations, products, aims, and policies are environmentally friendly. So basically, that sums it up.
Hi guys, how are we all doing? Thank you so much for watching my last video, and thank you for all the comments, thank you for all the subscriptions. I think I have like 30 new family members, so welcome.
Now, you see what fast fashion does that you do not know. Let me read the meaning of fashion. So the meaning of fashion is a
popular or latest style of clothing, hair, decoration, or behavior. So literally it means the latest fashion of something. That means there will always be a latest fashion.
And most times what we don't know is that because the demand for fashion products is very seasonal, an influencer, I might just come and wear this black shirt and everyone likes it on me, and then in the next like 5 minutes I have like over 1 million orders. Now the thing about supply chains that you guys don't know is probably to make this particular I'm going to explain that later, but to make this particular cream, probably like the production, the distribution, the packaging and everything probably takes 6 weeks. That's a 6 weeks lead time. Now if one influencer comes from God knows where, 6 weeks to produce. So if people are ordering and they're, oh my god, my goods are selling, let me just put in 100,000 orders. And what you do not know is that because fashion is very seasonal, you end up putting in 100,000 orders, and then you realize in the next 2 weeks people don't want that product again. So what then happens to, let's say you sold 20,000, what then happens to the 80,000 left? Sorry, I used 100,000. So let's say you said you sold 20,000. So what happens to the 80,000 left? It's left in the market. Now, when that happens, you have an inventory problem because there are goods that are lying down in the warehouse. They are taking space. Probably you're paying for the warehousing space, and that's why you probably see in Primark or in different places they'll be like, oh, buy two get one free, or do the. You think they actually want to put that thing on sale? Oh no, don't be kidding. I'm gonna get a coat by Adam Smith. So this coat by Adam Smith, if you're an economist, if you do not know my background, my BSc was in economics. So my background, basically, if you're an economist and you don't know this quote, then are you actually an economist? But let's pardon you. But the quote is, it is not from the benevolence of the butcher, the brewer, or the baker that we expect our dinner, but for regard of your own interest. So basically,
it's not because the baker is thinking about you in the night. What will these people of the world, the people of England, eat for breakfast if I don't make bread? No, he's doing it for his own personal interest.
We can have profits, and that's what we do not see. So you see, buy two get one free. You might not necessarily need that clothes. So I'm speaking to you if you're in the clothing aisle or if you're in any place and you see those kind of things. I mean, you might want to help the company, but then the thing is, you not end up consuming more than you actually want to produce, or no, more than you actually need to consume, just because you think you are getting something on a bargain, but you're actually helping these companies out. So now let me break it down to fast fashion. So you see things that are cheap, you buy them, no problem. Now I've explained kind of like global supply chains and how different people have their different manufacturing plants everywhere, and it's the same thing. Let's say fast fashion brands like H&M, Primark, and all those New Look and all of that. Let's say most people produce in Bangladesh, Pakistan, or India, or in all these different places where cost of production or labor is actually cheap. And I've never thought about the poor working conditions of these people, even in the makeup industry. Now in fact, I feel like this thing happens. Now why I'm using this cream is because it's like a fast moving, it's called FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. So anything that is fast moving, whether it's food, whether it's makeup, whether it's clothes,
everything might just ruin us all.
So let's just say I read a documentary about how mica, kids literally go into mines and some of them die just for like a piecemeal.
You know all those shimmery, when you say, oh, glowy, shiny, you're playing with someone's destiny.
Basically. So we need to be more aware when we are patronizing brands and not just falling for their greenwashing. How can we be aware of these things? And how does fast fashion want to ruin us all actually? So I'm sure if you're on my Instagram, you actually know this shirt, Say Let's Do More. I actually got this shirt from Primark. And now I just liked it because it had my theme for last year. This was like my theme for last year, but the thing is, once I watched it, it kind of like started getting dark, and I just found that out. I actually don't know if I'll wear this again. But the thing about the UK is, if I want a clothes, I can actually go and buy it and then not wear it again. And because their system is so developed and organized, I can actually donate this to charity shops. Now these charity shops would only accept these things if they are good quality and if someone else can wear it. If they cannot wear it, it's either one,
they ship it to Africa, two, they recycle it.
Now there are places where they sell, they probably buy your clothes from you for like £1 per kg or something, or 60p per kg, whatever. I don't know what they want to do with those clothes, but basically what happens is that those clothes are quicker, Ben Now Select, if you know. And to be honest, when I was in Nigeria, I actually never bought Ben Now Select for any reason, and I never just felt, I just felt like probably I don't know who wore those clothes, and this is no shade at all. But after my green supply chain class, I actually went to a thrift store to actually buy something, because I felt, oh, I was doing something good for the environment, and I actually was, and I felt so good leaving the shop because I was like, oh, this is my first piece and all of that, and
good, and the world is going to be happy with me. They're going to give me like a gratitude letter and all of that.
Before this video actually gets long, so now on the other hand, in Africa we actually don't have this recycling problem like that. Now it's funny how all these fast fashion brands, like probably this shirt now, especially for cotton, it probably uses like 10,000 liters of water to produce, and that's not sustainable at all. And some companies probably use like so much energy to produce so little, and the chemicals that they use are probably dangerous anyway. Because I know in one of my researches in like fur, now this was in regard to luxury and fur items, I think we should probably split this video into two different things, but let me know in the comment section. And if you have reached to this point, please subscribe. I'm giving you good knowledge. So all this like chemicals and stuff are not good for the environment. If they put it into the water, it'll probably stay there for like over 5 years, and it
harms the fish.
So basically, how do companies dispose of this water? How can they use energy efficiently? How can they recycle goods? How are they treating their laborers in different parts of the world? Because in UK, they know they can't try that kind of thing, or pay someone piecemeal. They move it over to probably one African country or one Asian country, thinking they can get away with it, which they actually do, because these people are actually hungry and need jobs. But the thing is, I remember there was a time that a factory actually burned down and some people actually died, and because the let's say the political systems in those companies, probably someone is eating from it, or they really don't care as far as they're getting money. So like policies are not in place to protect these people, and these big brands are in serious trouble. So the thing about these fast fashion brands is, now luxury is a different thing. Now I will tell you why I like luxury items really in a different video, and why we all need a bit of luxury in our life basically. But what I want to say is that most of this Primark, H&M and all of that, they bring in new clothes every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks there are new items coming in, and I am wondering, is it that we have parties every single week? Because I'm like, I go to the shop 1 week, the next 2 weeks I come and everything is cleared out and new stock is coming. So you just see people buying items that they actually do not need, and just because it's readily available to them. Now this isn't a developed world or in the UK. Now I can see that probably think I'm angry on all of that, but I'm actually not. It's just because there's a burning passion in my heart for things to be more green, and because as consumers it is our problem. Now it's our problem to solve. Now this is a different, this has a different story. This is as you can see, it's probably like, I don't know, if you're Portuguese, you probably know the meaning of this, but this shirt was actually my dad's shirt. My dad schooled in Brazil. He did his uni there, so I probably think he got this there or whatever. Now the funny thing about this shirt is, it's been in my family for ages, and it followed me to UK. It's the kind of shirt that I think that if it gets missing, it will find its way back to me. I'm actually not lying. But what I wanted to say about this shirt is that in Africa, we don't really have this problem as much, because this shirt, I remember my mom even using it for my second to the last sister's birth. When she was pregnant, she actually wore this shirt, and it's funny how this shirt is now mine, and I wear it there are literally holes in it, but I still wear it always, because I don't know, it's just a flimsy shirt you can put on. Now in Africa, we really don't have this problem like that, because there are people that we can give this clothes out to. There are ways we can sustainably dispose of it. And even in the manufacturing of clothes in Nigeria or in Africa or in any African country, it's really easy to just walk into a tailor shop and say make to order. So you know that basically whatever you're consuming is what you need, but not the way here is.
I think I need a shirt. You go to H&M and you come up with 10 shirts. Sis, do you really need those shirts?
So it's something for us to think about. And I read a book by Jacqueline Novogratz, which is The Blue Sweater. And literally she was just talking about how there was this particular sweater that she loved that was blue, and I think someone gifted it to her, and she was surprised to see that years later she actually disposed of that sweater because people were bullying her and all of that when she was in school, and when she was younger. And she realized that when she went back to Rwanda, if I'm not mistaken, she saw that same shirt on a child, and she was like, it's not possible, this cannot be. And she literally went, checked the label, and it had her name there. And you see, the world is just global, and there's so many things that we do not need, and they actually get shipped to Africa, and Africa now buys it for a certain value. So that's a different market on its own. So you can see how like the different supply chain works. But my question to you is, do you actually need the things that you think you need or that you want? There are ways that you can spend sustainably. I would give an example. if I spend 5,000, or let's say I spend £5 on this watch, and I literally, this watch I'm wearing now is a Fossil watch. I always wanted a Fossil watch. So on Mother's Day, I actually went, or Women's Day, I can't really remember, and actually bought this. And I realized that at any point in time,
I just love wristwatches and perfumes. But
at any point in time, like I buy stuff, they last for long. Now this watch is going to last probably for like, I don't know, for as long as it can last for in years. And this literally stopped working on the first day. So how many £5 watches do I need to buy before I probably buy a £40 watch? And these are things that you need to ask yourself. Do you really need those things that you say are cheap? Because it might just spoil. It might not be quality. And if you're thinking about the amount of lives that have been inflicted to get those things to you, you might actually want to rethink your purchase. Now, consumers are the most powerful thing. Without the beings in the world, without the consumers, companies will not exist. And circular flow of income in economics. So basically how like money moves from like companies to consumers, the companies now pay the consumers, and now moves back into the economy and all of that. So literally, if you do not bring your money out, those people actually they'll declare for bankruptcy. So what I'm trying to say is that we should be aware of these green tactics. Now, I know that I have said how probably like when things are in fashion or in vogue, people start buying more, and probably like the companies up their orders, and you realize that a few weeks later everything has died down. Same thing with this COVID season. And I'm going to use these things. This is my last example. So these 2 vitamins. So I went to Boots, actually saying,
oh, I just want to get this, or maybe this. Like, you know when you go to the shop and you say you want to get something, but you don't mind getting something else. So basically this was it. This is Well Woman. It's like, I love the owner of Vitalbotics, and this is Boots. Now it's the vitamin C with zinc. I don't know if you can see. So that's basically why I've been taking this COVID season.
Because I have studied supply chain and I basically know all these tactics now, it's not much of a surprise to me. So
If I actually don't want to get something, I actually don't get it. Like, it's not by force. You can't show me down my throat with a good deal.
I would see there'll be better things to come, there'll be better technologies, there'll be better, so I don't need to start chasing the wind for every single reason.
And what I realized was that actually have a meeting now. So basically what I realized, it was they were saying like buy 2 get 1 free, and it literally I actually went to the store just to get this, and then there was a promo buy 2 get 1 free. Now I actually did not need this, and I actually did not need the other vitamin I went to get, but buy 2 get 1 free. Okay, let me just get this so I get the other one free. And that's how they make you spend more than you actually get. Now I've realized that it's only actually this one I spend taking every day, because I sometimes forget about this one. And that just summarizes everything. It's more what basically happened in this scenario is called the bullwhip effect, when there's probably like sudden demand or like sudden supply, or like, and then companies will get so confused and up their demands, and you're trying to demand plan or supply plan for things, and they actually might not get it right. And then because it is seasonal, fast moving consumer goods, most of them are seasonal, so they've changed, and then you just leave the company in an uproar, and then they make you kind of like shove things down your throat, but you need to unshove them out. So basically this is just trying to enlighten you on how fast fashion might ruin us all. We need to change our consumption patterns. We need to actually, I know that most supply chains are not visible, like we can't actually like put a code and trace where this particular milk was gotten from. If it would be nice if there was just a barcode that you could literally scan in shops, and it will tell you probably how many, where it's sourced from, whether the salaries were paid, probably happy pictures of people, even those ones they can literally buy online. But like if you could see the corporate social responsibility of companies. But since supply chains, because they are so global, it is so hard to track them, it is so hard for them to be visible. But I feel like in our own ways, we should try to make sure that whatever we are doing should be worthwhile. Whatever we are buying, we should get value for our money. You should not just throw your money on cheap things, because even if it's cheap, I know that they are cheaper quality things, but think about the environment. Think about with every decision you make, think about the environment, and think about your future children. Do you want them to be having cancer rates? Do you want to be making them have allergic reactions? Now I'll talk about all the different effects and the chemicals and stats of like fast fashion and everything, fast fashion clothing, whatever type of supply chain video you guys want me to do, please make sure you leave it down below. I'll be sure to treat it out, because it's one of the things that are dear to my heart, supply chain education and things like that. So I really do hope that you loved this video. I really hope that it was enlightening for you. I hope you have been able to learn a thing or two about supply chains. I mean, we have talked about greenwashing, we have talked about like how global supply chains are, how you are able to source. I've talked about blue weep effect. I kind of like touch like the nitty-gritty, and I hope you've been able to get an overview. So if anybody asks you anything about supply chains, you'll be like,
I have a blog, subscribe to the YouTube channel where you understand.
hope you've enjoyed this. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment. Also come talk to me about your experiences. Probably some people where you have made an impulse purchase. Talk to me about your decisions from now on. Are you only going to buy what you need? Are you only going to buy quality things? Are you only going to make sure you get value for your money? And I hope to see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe. I love always Temi. Bye.